सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ब्रह्मा ज्ञानं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा.
Sai Ram, dear brothers and sisters, my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dear Lord, Shri Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. Asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityoma amardam gamaya, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is a Shanti mantra which is recited in schools, educational institutions, and other organizations during invocation prayer. It is derived from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Today we are going to try to understand and analyze only the first line of this stanza, the first two words, Asatoma sadgamaya. The dictionary meaning says, God, help me to awaken from asatyam to satyam, from false to truth, from external to internal. Or we can say from maya or illusion to reality. Well, this sounds too complicated to understand. But as always, Swami had simple ways of teaching the highest level of life lessons in a very simple manner. Not only that, he believed in imparting high values in small children right from very young age through Bal Vikas. And to understand and remember them, he made beautiful quotes. He gave us beautiful quotes to remember them, like ABC of life is always be careful, or avoid bad company, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never, are his famous quotes. In fact, Baba used to say that his spelling BABA also stands for be aware, be alert. Coming back to today's topic, Asatoma sadgamaya, it can be understood as leaving or quitting any one bad habit will help us to lead or move forward in the path of Asatoma sadgamaya, that is from maya or illusion to reality. So considering Swami's various golden quotes, I have tried to derive the explanation of the line Asatoma sadgamaya from his 5 Ds. What are the 5 Ds? The 5 Ds are dedication, devotion, discipline, determination, and discrimination. It is said, master the 5 Ds, you can receive God's love. Now, to understand the 5 Ds better and the Asatoma sadgamaya terminology better, let me try to recite a small incident that happened in Swami's college. It so happened that once there were 2 boys in Swami's hostel, and suddenly they got an urge to smoke a cigarette. And such activities are prohibited in Swami's college. But these boys were somehow bent up on smoking a cigarette. So they purchased a pack of cigarette and they went behind the hostel building, at the end of the hostel building, and tried a puff, smoke a cigarette. Now, Swami says, all human values are already born along with human. One need not derive it from the outer source. It is already there. So why one has to do it secretly if it is something bad or something of bad value? Why do they have to do it secretly? It means it already shows that it is a not good habit. It is a bad habit. Anyway, these two thought of smoking a cigarette, and of course they did not know, or even it was we do not know that it was Swami's Leela, Swami's game plan. They thought nobody knows about it. They are doing it secretly. But our Antarayami, our Lord, knew it already. So next day morning, they got a call from Swami. And as soon as the two boys entered the hall, Swami's room, Swami said, "Boys, do you think I do not know what you both did yesterday evening behind the college hostel?" And this was enough for the two boys. Tears just flew from their eyes and they both fell at his feet, seeking forgiveness. And Swami said, "Bangaru, you both are young boys. Your parents have left you in my custody, having full trust and faith in me. It is my duty to make you a better human being who will be helpful to the society and gain name for your parents. I do not want anything from you. I just want you to gain good name for your parents and do good for the society." And that was enough for those two boys. And that was the first and the last time they ever smoked, and they threw the pack of cigarette from the window. And that's the end of the story. However, Swami wanted to teach a lesson not only to those two boys but to all of us. So coming back to the 5 Ds, let us see how it can be fit into the story and how Swami wanted to teach us all a lesson and go forward in the path of Asatoma Sadgamaya. Firstly, Swami says, be dedicated. Dedication is free from desire or greed and being sincere to yourself, to your work, to the surrounding around you. The minute you are sincere, automatically one will not cultivate any bad habit that will harm the society or oneself, or they will not get into any bad habit, or if at all one has a bad habit, that will be left. They will leave the bad habit. So that is the first step of Asatoma Sadgamaya, that is from illusion to reality. Because one thinks that bad habit like smoking or drinking or laughing at others will give happiness but that is not real happiness. That is just an illusion. The second D is devotion. Devotion is bhakti, the unconditional love. Swami says, start loving yourself and the person around you, or the people around you, the family around you, the society around you. And the minute you start loving somebody with an unconditional love, then automatically you will not like to disturb them with any bad habit. So you will not cultivate any bad habit. And if at all you have any bad habit, you will try to quit it. So through this devotion, the bad habit, Swami says, it is not only by action, but also by word and by thought. One should not think anything bad for anyone. So this is second step towards moving the path of Asatoma Sadgamaya, that is from Maya or illusion to to reality. The third D is discipline, a very important virtue. Swami says we all need to grow discipline in ourselves. And discipline does not mean actually waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning and doing exercise and taking bath and then having a normal routine. But the discipline also, as Swami always says, by thought, by word, and then by action. And this helps. Discipline is one of the guiding factor towards the path of Asatoma sadgamaya, from reality, from illusion to reality. The fourth D is discrimination. Dear brothers and sisters, Swami says, we humans are the most fortunate to be born with viveka and intelligence, to think and to analyze, to be able to discriminate between good and bad. Dear brothers and sisters, it is not about discriminating between rich and poor or luxury and being uncomfortable, but good and bad, right and wrong, false and truth. These are the things we should discriminate and choose the right which is good for ourselves and for the people around us. So this also helps us to quit any bad habit and develop good habit. So this is one of the pathway, and the fourth step towards moving forward the path of Asatoma sadgamaya. And the fifth D is determination, most important character. Most of us might have all the other Ds, but they may lack the strength of the mind to keep it strong and not be determined. Dear brothers and sisters, if at all we decide anything on taking a good decision, we should be very strong in it, or we should also be very assertive and determined to say no to a bad habit. That is a very important principle that one has to adhere. Come what may, we should not fall prey or get into any false illusion or maya that this is fun, this is enjoyment. Anything, any enjoyment or anything, any bad habit that is going to harm ourselves and the people around us, then it is bad. So this is the fifth step that will help us to move forward in the path of Satya, Asatoma sadgamaya, from untruth to truth. Dear brothers and sisters, now let's get back to the incident of the two boys. What did actually Swami wanted to teach us through that incident? Let us try to put the same story along with these 5 Ds. Try to understand. If the boys were of at all little bit dedicated and devoted towards themselves and to the boys around them and the hostel around them, they wouldn't have thought of, even the thought had occurred. In fact, the thought would not have occurred. And if at all it had occurred, the discipline would have stopped them from getting into a bad habit. The discrimination part, yes, they would have been able to discriminate whether it's a good habit or a bad habit. And comes the last D, determination. They would have understood, they would have been determined not to take it up. Come what may, let it be fun, let it be frolic, let it be enjoyment. But no is the answer for any bad habit. So dear brothers and sisters, Swami tried to teach them, not only tried to teach them a lesson, but his Leela was a game plan. He wanted to teach all of us a lesson, that how should we ever cultivate good habits and avoid bad habits through the 5 Ds. 5 Ds. In fact, In Indian language, there is a saying that if we cultivate Atma Balam, then Atma Balam is mental strength, then automatically Deva Balam will be showered upon us. Swami says, you take one step, I will take 100 steps towards you. So that is what Asatoma, sadgamaya is. To begin with, if we quit any one bad habit, Swami will grace us abundantly. And for that, the 5 Ds are a pathway to do so. Jai Sai Ram.
साई आओ मेरे भगवान, साई आओ मेरे भगवान, साई आओ मेरे भगवान, साई आओ मेरे भगवान, मुझे दर्शन दो भगवान, मुझे दर्शन दो भगवान, मुझे दर्शन दो भगवान, मुझे दर्शन दो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान। मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम। साई आओ मेरे भगवान, साई आओ मेरे भगवान, असतोमा सद्गमया, असतोमा सद्गमया, असतोमा सद्गमया, असतोमा सद्गमया, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया, मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमया, मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमया, मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमया, मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमया, भव पार करो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान। मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम। साई आओ मेरे भगवान, साई आओ मेरे भगवान, मुझे दर्शन दो भगवान, मुझे दर्शन दो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान, भव पार करो भगवान। मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम, मेरी आवाज़ सुनो साई राम। साई आओ मेरे भगवान, साई आओ मेरे भगवान, असतोमा